Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It has been 2 weeks, but we are back. You guys know I was sitting down, but now I stand. So I have a vast array of topics that I'm going to be talking about over the next several videos, but we're going to start with this one. This one actually has happened in my little backwaters of Virginia, so that means I got to be careful because I'm not trying to get ran down on by any of the parties that I'm talking about in today's topic. Okay, I talk that tough guy stuff, but I'm not tough. So we have a story that comes from Blacksburg, Virginia Tech, and I want to read this to you guys, and I want your opinion because the audio isn't necessarily matching the visual, and I'll paint the picture that I see near the end, but let's go ahead and get into this. So Virginia Tech football player was granted bond as details emerge in a murder case. A suspended Virginia Tech football player charged with second-degree murder was granted bond during a hearing Wednesday morning in Montgomery County General District Court in Christiansburg, Virginia. Ishman Etute, 18 years old, was released on a $75,000 secured bond per Judge Randall Duncan's ruling and placed under house arrest with electronic monitoring, Commonwealth's attorney Mary Petit said in a release. The ordering prohibits Etute from going back to Montgomery County except for court proceedings or to consult with his attorney. Etute was arrested in June 2nd and charged with the killing of Jerry Paul Smith, a restaurant worker in Blacksburg, Virginia. All the bones in Smith's face were broken, teeth were missing, and he suffered cranial fractures. An autopsy report revealed Etute, according to court arguments, reportedly told police he punched Smith 5 times in the face and stomped him after discovering the person he thought was a woman was a man. Etute apparently told police he matched with a person named Angie on the dating app Tinder on April 10th and he met for some oral sex. That means he went and got the head. Another match, according to court arguments, was to take place on May 31st at an apartment for additional sexual activity. Now, let's stop here for a moment and let me just reiterate and really break this down. So he met with a person named Angie on the dating app Tinder, right? On April 10th. He went over there, caught some of that neck, right? Then he went back on May 31st for additional, intercourse and messing around with the phallus and some mouths and butts, I don't know. And that's when he found out that the woman was a man and proceeded to kill the person. Now, the thing that's really confusing to me is I gotta see you to put my penis into your mouth. So how do you not know upon meeting a person that the person is a man? Because this isn't like, Big Rob knows a lot about trannies, it's just signed into work. This isn't like somebody like Blonde Lashes 19, Sonus Love, where you walk past them if you're going down the street and you could legitimately not tell that the person was born male. No disrespect to the dead, but Jerry Paul Smith was... this is a picture of Jerry Paul Smith, from my understanding, that was posted on the Roanoke.com article that was written about this. And I can see every hair follicle in Jerry Paul Smith's face. So when I'm looking at this, I'm kind of sitting here thinking, like, it doesn't matter how much makeup Jerry Paul Smith puts on. It doesn't matter how many wigs or anything Jerry Paul Smith puts on. I'm almost 150,000% sure I would be able to tell Jerry Paul Smith is a man trying to dress as a woman. I think that goes without saying in the slightest. So this is where I'm really confused when we're talking about you're going to meet up. This isn't, hey, Jerry Paul Smith snuck into this person's house and was sucking him up while he was asleep and he woke up to this and beat Jerry Paul Smith to death. This is, no, you went to Jerry Paul Smith's crib and caught some neck. Neck was so fire, you went back again and then something happened and you killed the person. That's where I'm like, I'm really confused. And I even was sent a Twitter statement by another person where they were showcasing their opinion on it, trying to paint Jerry as a predator because Jerry was out on Facebook like, yo, come hit me with the BBC from the back, like nonstop. And they were trying to paint Jerry as a predator because of that. Because my brain was like, regardless of what Jerry was doing on Facebook, you had to meet with Jerry the first time and see what Jerry was look like to catch some neck. If you go back a second time, I feel like that's on you. And the argument that the defense is actually making to try to get Etute off is that he didn't know the person was trans. He didn't know the person was a man pretending to be a woman. And that's why I'm kind of sitting here like, bruh, a lot of these stories where you see things like this, I'm like, all right, maybe, right? But this particular one, are we pretending, like, are we purposely being obtuse in this situation? So, because if that's what everybody's doing, just let me know. Because the audio is not matching the visual at all. I'm just going to continue reading though. At the time Atoot discovered Smith was male, Commonwealth attorneys told the court and assaulted Smith. Atoot left the apartment without calling police, according to court arguments, and Smith was found unresponsive 2 days later during a welfare check in the apartment located in the 100th block of North Main Street in Blacksburg. Atoot's parents and sister attended the hearing in a packed courtroom that also included members of the Hokies football team. And then Jimmy Turk said, "Nobody deserves to die, but I don't mind saying don't pretend to be something you're not." That's Atoot's attorney. And then also said, "Don't target or lure anyone under that perception. That's just wrong." I understand that Jimmy Turk's job is to defend Atoot, but when I'm seeing that, it's like, this didn't happen on April 10th. Again, the first interaction would be a mission successful. He went, he caught the neck, he left. He went back for more. That's the part where I'm kind of sitting here and I'm just thinking to myself, like, all right, when you look at Jerry Paul Smith, RIP to the people that have passed from this story. Again, one kid may lose some time off his life, and somebody lost their life. But I'm just looking at this entire situation. I'm thinking to myself, this person isn't very passable, like not in the slightest. That's just what it looks like to me, to be completely honest with you. What it looked like to me is, when that dick full of blood, them balls is shrunk up, that dick real hard, people not really thinking, but after you bust that nut and you come back to your senses, some people can't handle reality. That's what it looks like to me. That's just my opinion on this entire thing, man. Because somebody sent me the article, I read it, and I was just like, wait, what? And it actually just made me get angrier and angrier as I was reading it, because I'm like, bro, come on now. I feel like anybody with just 2 working frontal lobes can see that this article just does not sound right in the slightest. That's all I'm gonna say, all right? So with that being said, I would love to know how you guys feel about this down in the comment section below. As always, if you're new to this channel, if you could support the channel by giving a like and sub, that would be great. If you haven't followed me on Twitter at twitter.com/RBKampachi, you can do that as well. And if you haven't checked out the Patreon with over 110 hours of additional content, you can do that by checking the description down below. With that being said, I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Everybody have a great day, and I will talk to you guys soon.